Hey, Max here. I gotta pick up the mic. This is a hot take inspired by my good pal, Little Movie Raptor, on the before show or the after show. Don't know what the hell you're calling it yet, but that show with CJH and the rest. Um, well, first off, it's very frustrating to have people say, your friends second guess you. Like, on every step of the way, these are things that I have noticed. I've been watching movie talk before I've been in movie talk for years. And I want to say, Perp, I love you, but you're freaking delusional and naive to think that. And I know whenever you say this, people jump the shark and like, Max is an anti SJW. No, they're somewhere in between. But I think it's like a known fact now, for example, the mainstream media, when you're talking about politics, is completely compromised. So, if you look at how the way things are covered, even current world conflicts, the left side, the right side, Republicans, Democrats, both sides with the mainstream media. I'm talking about Fox News and CNN. So I'm not taking a side there. They're both full of shirt and completely compromised. And I think this is also, I'm talking about the Zack Snyder Rotten Tomatoes score from critics. And I personally have like a few examples that I've noticed. And it's like frustrating whenever I'm talking about this on a live stream and people are just like, what are you talking about, Max? These are things I've noticed. For one, we are in the age of print media dying, unfortunately. And I'm going to coin the phrase, and I started using Access Media before the anti-SJWs. Believe you don't have to believe me. I'm not looking for receipts. I've been saying Access Media for a long, long time. But I'm going to coin this phrase, and I'm going to say click media. Instead of print media, we are in the age of click media. So most media, in my personal opinion, is completely compromised. And even like YouTube channels, it's very difficult, even myself, to not, especially when you're making a thumbnail, not to form a narrative for clicks. This is what's happening in the age of social media. And this is where people make their money. For few examples of how Rotten Tomatoes critics are completely compromised. For one, red-handed, I caught. Who's the guy from Film Threat that always hangs out with Nerdrotic now that was on G4? Chris. I forget his name. His last name. One of his employees reviewed the film that he created and gave it one of the only positive scores on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's still up. I could find it if I wanted. The other thing is Grace Randolph. People don't take her seriously, spilling the tea. She is a certified Rotten Tomatoes critic. Adam Does Movies. I like Adam Does Movies. I think a lot of YouTubers fall to this. I think he was cutting a promo. You know what cutting a promo is on a live stream or a video? Promoting your other content. And he benefited from all the backlash he got from Godzilla Minus One of going that hard. Now, he authentically could have just disliked the movie that much, but he was certainly prepared to reap the benefits of streams and videos saying how ridiculous Godzilla fans are. And there is a lot of grifting opportunities to grift off insane fanboys, which they make it easy because they are. And they are the most triggered. And that is the way you make the most money on the internet, is triggering fans. Whether it's towards a narrative of everything's woke, or towards and I'll tell you what, the biggest money makers are triggering Snyder fans. And Snyder fans are their own worst enemy. They click on that stuff like crazy to white knight for their pal Zach. I've done it too. I've tried to stop, but I've done it too. There's a lot of money to be made. And then in these negative reviews, the Rotten Tomatoes, for example, for Rebel Moon, their websites are all there. And why do I say Perp had this example on the live stream? And I can't go back and forth because I'll be on the live stream for hours, and I got other stuff to do. So I'm making a video instead. It helps me make content. So thank you, Perp. But these critics do not just only review movies. Okay? A lot of these critics, if you go research them, you could do it. I'm not going to. You can believe me or not. I'm not. Whatever. You want all the receipts. You go find the receipts. People have done this research on some of these critics. They write articles as well. They're not just only movie critics. And for example, Adam Does Movies and Grace Randolph, they make other profits online besides just reviewing movies. And part of it is the spectacle. Spilling tea or, being the YouTuber like Adam Does Movies, like, oh my God, those fans are crazy. And profiting off of that and cutting a promo. So we are in the age of click media, and there's lots of issues with authenticity. And I cannot believe in almost 2024 that we're still having the argument that everyone basically accepts that the media, when it's talking about politics, is completely compromised. But now, Perp, the mainstream media, when we're talking about movies, they're being organic, authentic, and not compromised. And I think you're wrong on this one. And so many people see it, and I don't know why it's so widely accepted for the political angle. But they're not compromised in other situations for movies and TV shows and letting other factors compromise their objectivity. And I think we're past that point. And I don't know if there's any fixing it because it's just the age of social media and you don't get any relevancy or money unless you're extremely hyperbolic and put on a show. And sometimes you fit the narrative before you even make a live stream. Sometimes you say, off the wall BS just to trigger people. For example, that Zack Snyder has got something going on because he plays Fortnite at 3 a.m. BS like that, completely compromised for your grifting opportunities. That's where I'm going to drop the mic. I'm out. Tell me what you think of these hot takes, and I'll see you in another video. Bye, everyone.